Hello there. I decided to bail on my trip to China. Decided to jump across the world. Jump over to London, England. Look at the fresh green fields. The Victorian homes over there. It's wonderful. No, I'm not in England. I'm still in China. China has been so kind to create different countries of the world for you to go and visit. So you never have to leave the country. So I'm in a place called Town, a housing complex that was built in 2010. Meant to model London. As you can see, they went all out. I mean, I'm not sure if you'd see as many hot pot restaurants as London, but sitting over here next to George Gordon is an actual American that stayed here throughout the 3 years of the pandemic in China.
Yeah, it was great. What can I say?
My friend Luis.
Hi, nice to meet you. Well, actually, nice to see you again. Yeah,
there we go.
Good. So,
Luis is gonna give me a little bit of a tour around the area.
I'll see what I can do. Yeah. See what I can do.
He's basically Chinese at this point.
I wouldn't go that far, but
what used to be famous about places like this is that they were basically ghost towns. They were built up, then you had like what, maybe 5% occupancy rates. You see almost nobody, but people are starting to move into these. Wow, is that Winston Churchill?
the one and only.
Wow. 你们有在英国的感觉吗？
你们有在英国的那个感觉吗？
有没有？
完全没有，完全没有，
还是有一点吧。
你有没有？没有。
你没有
讲得很好嘞。啊，说的还可以，还可以。
Valese。
好的，可以。你手腕往前压一点，那个手腕，对这个包提高一点点，美女。
One thing you see that's really surprising here is a lot of people take their wedding pictures here, and also if they have to take any pictures for their new products, like new shirts or new clothes, they take a lot of their Taobao pictures here as well.
Okay.
So like people over there, obviously they're not taking a wedding picture, they're taking like maybe pictures for their clothing line or something.
That's pretty cool. Perfect wedding photo spot, and also product placement spot. Do I have anything to promote in this video? Let me think. I won't know until after I make the video. You know, I've been to some noisy places. China, Nigeria, the New York subway. Sometimes you need a way to get away from it all and block out the noise. Sometimes you need a way to feel like you're in Switzerland. And for that, I can heavily recommend the Space One headphones by Anker. Space One are noise-canceling headphones that can adjust the noise reduction level in real time, adjusting to the environment that you're in. The Space One headphones come equipped with high-res audio, and they can easily adjust to any head. The cups are fully adjustable on each side for a perfect listening experience. Just imagine that you're at a busy train station or a restaurant in New York or Shanghai. You're surrounded by loud voices, babies crying, coffee machines going off. But with the Space One headphones, you can wear them, block out the voices, block out the noise, and listen to your music in peace. If you're in a busy, noisy office with phone calls and chatter all around you, and you need to get your focus back, you can put on the Space One headphones to take control of your environment. So turn down the crowd with Soundcore Space One. You can buy a pair for just $99.99, which is actually ridiculously good. Seriously. And they've got really good reviews all over the web. If you want to do your own research, I can heavily recommend them. And now, let's get back to China's version of Europe. Gongxi ni man. Gongxi. They're very serious about those photos right there.
It's a special day.
Very special. They're getting married in London. They made the long trip from all the way over here.
Yeah. Yeah, some of that jet lag. That's so cute.
Oh.
Oh, they're taking a picture.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
你是摄影师吗？没事 ，OK， 谢谢。我们去教堂。你好，你是牧师吗？哦，不是，宗教活动。 哦 ，OK， 师傅，他们现在在祈祷吗？里面有什么活动啊？没有。哦，因为 there's a sign saying that there's religious activities going on at the moment, but according to our friend over here. Over here, we got James Bond. Clearly they opted for the Pierce Brosnan version. You can tell the age of this place just by that. It's been around for over a decade. So we found a rental agent to show us a home.
4,500 USD a month.
For 4,500 USD per month, this can be your home. An entire suburban house. 所以5个房间，4个洗手间。
对。然后有一个
5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms.
这个是车库，这个是车库。
And you got a fireplace.
Oh, fireplace.
The ultimate luxury in China.
Oh wow.
The ultimate way to remember that you're in London. You could just be chilling here in your British living room. Look out onto your British garden. Say hello to all your British neighbors. All from just a few miles outside of Shanghai.
Have a sauna, bathroom.
Oh, look at this.
So this is the master bedroom.
Oh man, you get your own private sauna.
What the real estate agent was telling me is that in this area here, like before, they didn't have any restrictions on how big you could build in Shanghai. So they can build houses like this, but new buildings and new communities, they're not allowed to build this big anymore.
Oh,
so this is
okay.
back in 2004 when they built this neighborhood. So in fact, Jamestown then it's not 2010, it's probably 30, like 20 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these houses are a relic of the past. You're not allowed to have houses this big anymore. When you think about it, forget the tackiness of the whole area. This is an amazing deal. I mean, how many places in America are you going to find a house with 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms? Your mortgage payments work out to like $6,000 a month. And this is about a 30-minute drive from the heart of Shanghai.
Without traffic. With traffic.
Okay. Without traffic.
Probably an hour and a half.
I'm trying to sell this house, bro.
Alright, man, these really bring back memories, man. For all those foreigners that are here back in 2021, this is the spots. In order for you to be able to access any public works, you had to go to one of these days. And yeah.
So this is basically a COVID testing center. If you stayed in China for the past 3 years, you had to get a test, like what, every 72 hours?
Every 72 hours, if you wanted to go on the subway or you wanted to go to any restaurants.
How would this work?
There'd be someone inside there, and then you'd have to scan a barcode that you open with your Alipay, and then they'll give you the test, and after you do the COVID test, and they'll tell you like, okay, they'll scan over and they'll tell you like within 24 hours you'll get a green code. If you're okay, if you're not okay, you'll get the red code.
And 3 days later, you'd have to come back and do the same thing all over again?
Not every 3 days, every 2 days, because you have to make sure that your code
even
is
better
before 72 hours. If you wait 3 days, your code will probably be invalid.
Yeah.
So it's better for you to do it earlier.
That's crazy. Yeah. Just imagine every couple of days walking up to here, sticking your head in.
Hey.
Oh man, all the fun I was missing. All right, my friend has been kind enough to bring his Tesla. The cheapest Tesla you can buy, actually, $35,000 here in China, because they're produced right here. Here's a playlist from QQ, the biggest music app in China. And one of the musical categories that you could choose is 非洲年轻人正在听什么? What are black people currently listening to?
Yeah, that's not politically correct at all.
I was kind of wondering. So, Luis, as one of the Laowais that stayed here during the entire 3 years of the pandemic, including the, what was it, 3 months?
Yeah, 3 months.
Home lockdown last year?
Yeah.
How did you deal with that? How was that?
I don't know, just try to stay positive, I guess. I mean, there's not much else you can do. Try to make as many friends as I can with the people that live in my community, and try to.
So you were able to still talk with people outside of your apartment?
At one point, yes, but for the first month, we were not allowed to get out of our house, and also if we wanted to throw away trash, we had to get the security guards to come to our house to pick up the trash. But But then when the situation got a little better, because my neighborhood in particular, there wasn't that many people that were infected, so they gave us a lot more freedom. So we were able to walk around the neighborhood, and now those were probably like the highlights of our day every day.
How did it start? You were just at home one day, and then they said like it's gonna take like 3 days, and it's over.
For me, actually, I got lucky because I'm in the western part of Shanghai, so they gave us 3 days notice. But for people that were in Pudong, they didn't even give them a day's notice. They gave them only a couple hours. So during that time, people were rushing to the supermarket to buy as much as they could. But for us, we had a few days to start our 3-day lockdown. So we were able to buy some stuff, but towards the second or third day, before the lockdown, most of the supermarkets were empty. There was absolutely no food. So whatever you could find is whatever you can get.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I said, survived it, and now things are going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still see a lot more people wearing face masks now.
Oh,
That
yeah.
never used to be a thing in China.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-pandemic.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah.
But there's definitely a lot less people on the streets. There was a lot more people back in 2018. I think definitely there is. It's slowing down. Yeah.
Slowing down.
That's all I want to say.
Slowing down, yeah.
It's slowing down.
All right. So as you may have heard, these little fake European towns are all over China. And the most famous of all of them, the giant fake Eiffel Tower, is in a place called Hangzhou. To get there, we're gonna have to go and ride the Gaotie, high-speed rail for the first time. Let's go do it. This is Shanghai Hongqiaojiang, the largest high-speed rail station, not just in Shanghai, but the whole country. There's so many people here, it's hard to even imagine. You've got trains leaving from here to go literally all over the country. Beijing, Guangzhou, Shenzhen. There's a train that goes into Hong Kong. You can even take a train to Xinjiang. Okay, so I'm trying to get to Hangzhou. My check-in area is at station number 16. Alright. Supposedly, I can get in there with just a passport now. I'm about to find out. Hi, 你好. Okay. 谢谢啊. There's a whole special process for foreigners riding public transportation in China. We have to go out like a special gate. They've made the process a little bit easier, I will say that. It used to be back in the day, every time I wanted to ride one of these high-speed rail lines, and I did a lot. I used to go down to Hong Kong all the time. I'd have to go to the ticket counter and buy a ticket and wait on this huge-ass line. Meanwhile, Chinese people got to just use the self-ticketing machines, save a ton of time. But it's gotten easier. I think this is it.麻烦你。好像我是13D。Okay. Sudoku吗？Sudoku. Yeah. 加油。
对，把脚收好。对，下车时请注意安全。
All right, just 40 minutes later, and we're already there. The high-speed rail system in China is definitely one of my favorite parts of the country. I mean, you know, I just paid about $13 for a first-class seat. There are always tons of people taking the train from Shanghai to Hangzhou. I took this right in the middle of the afternoon at like 3 p.m. Still a packed train. It's an easy getaway. It's only about 40 minutes to an hour. A lot of people from Shanghai will come here. It's a nice little trip, you know, take your family, take your girlfriend. One of my only criticisms of the high-speed rail system here in China is all the stations look basically the same. It's like they're all mass-produced at the same time around a decade ago. And, you know, I feel like the stations could use a touch of personality. Welcome to Hangzhou, what many Chinese would consider to be the most beautiful city in China. And I'd actually agree with that. It's one of my favorite cities in the country. It's full of beautiful little canals, has a huge lake that you can walk around, and in general, it's just a very nicely maintained city. Now, Hangzhou used to be the capital of the Song dynasty, all the way up until the Mongols came and conquered China and messed all that up. That's a common story throughout China, the Mongols coming in and messing everything up. But anyway, over here is the West Lake. So this bridge right here is known as Duanqiu, the broken bridge. And there's a man staring at me at the moment. Hi, 你好，你好，你好。哦，你看我的账吗？哎，你好，你好，你好。OK。你好，你好，你好。可以啊。认识你。哎，可以，来。哎。哎。OK。我有房。啊，你猜一下。我是西方人，我是法国，美国人，美国人，美国人。你喜欢美国吗？美国头一次见的。OK， 我喜欢中国。OK， 很高兴认识你们。So I was about to say, this is Duanqiu, the broken bridge. A very famous scenic spot here in Hangzhou, which is why it's swarmed by tourists at the moment. But this is also the most romantic place you can come in all of Hangzhou. It involves a story of a woman. I mean, it's a bit of a weird story, to be honest. A woman who was a snake in a lake, and then a man was walking along the bridge, and then he saw the snake, and then she popped out and they fell in love, something like that. It's very confusing, but you know. But what that means is, if you've got a Chinese girlfriend, or a Chinese boyfriend, this is the spot to take them to. You come to Hangzhou, you bring them to the broken bridge, and you relive the weird love story that took place here. They'll love it. TikTok has corrupted the world so much that even the grannies are out here singing on Douyin. Now, Hangzhou is also a financial city. It's the place where Alibaba was founded. You know what that means? That means there's lots of interesting property speculation here as well, including a giant fake Eiffel Tower. You may have heard of this. I've always wanted to go and see this. We're gonna do it today. It's at a place called Tianducheng, and it's a little bit outside of Hangzhou. It's like in the suburbs. So, okay, we're gonna take a few steps that way and just wait until you see what pops out. Ta-da! We've made it to Paris. This tower is perhaps the greatest symbol of China's overdevelopment, or its supposed overdevelopment. The ghost cities that line the country. Because here, surrounding it, this was supposed to be a park. This was supposed to be a desirable area that people wanted to move to. Look, you even have a little marker for a metro station that was meant to be here. 请问能上去吗？
不能上，
不能上。
只能看。
Oh. This Eiffel Tower, you can only look at and admire. But is that really the case? Let's find out. Okay, I'm not the only one. Doesn't look like there's any way up. Unless you want to do like parkour or something. This is not one of those Daredevil channels where I'm going to be climbing up skyscrapers for your amusement. Okay, 看一下吗？哦，谢谢。
这个没水，
哦，没有水。
这个水枪。
好啦，好吧。OK， 谢谢。Okay, that was fun. What other parts of Paris do they have? Oh. Dodging traffic here. It really is wild. From a distance, that looks just like the Champs-Élysées in Paris. You know, like the same architecture. But as you start to walk closer, all the little storefronts at the bottom, they're like Chinese restaurants. I gotta say, there's a lot more people living here than I expected. I keep turning around to look at me. If you're a foreigner in China, and somebody just keeps staring at you and they won't stop, just stare back at them and then wave. You know, you'll make some new friends that way. Guaranteed. 很高兴认识你们。巴黎好玩吗？ I love this. So in China, it's very common to just dry your laundry out your own window, you know, hang it on the railing outside. I've never seen that on the Champs-Élysées. Love the contrast. Not quite a ghost city, but no fountains. Where are the fountains at? 请问我可以问一下吗？你们住在这里吗？
是的。
OK， 什么时候开始住在这里的？
我们
今年
6、7年了。
变化很大吗？
变化大。
现在有好多不一样的商店吗？
对。
这个很好住的地方吗？
这现在人都住满了。
啊 ，OK。
原来很少的人。
啊 ，OK， 以前。
你原来来过是吧？
对，这是我第一次来过。
哦，第一次啊。
对对。
前几年这里都没多少人
反正
住，这几年
6年左右，以前这个人很少的，现在人都多了。
啊 ，OK，
这个人入住率提高了。对。
好 ，OK，谢谢，再见。
你中国话说得很好。
啊，谢谢，没有。Always gotta throw in a compliment about my Chinese. I appreciate it. The Quality Life Experience Center. I have no idea what they mean by that. 哦，哎，麻烦你，我可以打断一下，我就是想问一下，这是什么样的地方？什么样的商店？
什么样的商店？
对。
哦，参观一下。看一下。
啊，你们卖衣服的吗？
这个形体。
哦，形体，哦，旗袍吗？
中文话讲得很好哎。
啊，没有，谢谢，没有。OK，我可以卖给女朋友啊。
你女朋友在哪里啊？
啊，她不存在。
啊，不存在。我可以带你参观一下我们的店里。
啊 ，OK，我们去一下。I hope this isn't cold.
这是我们可以在这里练瑜伽、形体课，还有做很多活动。
OK，做活动的地方啊。
做活动的地方。
OK，
你是哪个国家的？
我是美国人。
你美国人啊？
美国人。对。
很帅。你可以坐下来，给你倒杯茶喝喝。
谢谢。
你坐。
坐下。
先喝杯茶。
OK，谢谢。
不谢啊。那，哎呀，来尝尝，
谢谢
啊，
谢谢老板。
不谢，那来一个嘛。
谢谢，我不抽烟。
你不抽烟？
我不抽烟。
好，你中国话说的这么好，中文怎么说这么好？中文。
谢谢。
我能跟你合个影吗？
啊，可以的。你好呀。
长得那么帅。
长得很帅哈。
哇。
跟你合个影吧。
长得很帅。
这种东西就学一学，哇塞，太好了！
不错，
你中文讲的真好哎！
中文讲的
他说的跟我们差不多。
不是啊，那个太夸张了。
中文讲的好。
不夸张。
可以的。
那我们中国人他其实还是蛮热情。
啊，对。
只要不要说有什么，那其实我们老百姓都是很热情。
啊 ，OK。
不会说有什么。
是的。
你们都是。
就像我们中国的人到你美国一样的。
啊。
也一样的，你们那边人也热情。
啊。
都差不多啊。
我们美国人也好热情的，热闹的，热情的，
其实也会很愿意去帮助。
如果你们来美国，我们会请你一个啤酒。
敬一杯啤酒啊！
对，请你一杯啤酒，对，就是美国方式。啊，对，这里是茶，那边是啤酒。
看到了没有？那边有
看到了。
监督公园蓝色的标牌，有个箭头的，看到吗？那个绿色的，就是过去一点点，然后往里面，往这里面走。
知道了。
就好有一条小路，沿着小河边走就可以了。
知道了。
好，谢谢。
谢谢告诉我。
谢谢啊。
那走，再见。
有空来玩啊。
That was cute. I don't know if that was a sales pitch, but they're very nice. As you can see, there is absolutely no one better in the world at giving compliments than Chinese people. These are the kind of good things you don't always hear about. And yes, I know I'm not as handsome as they were saying. I'm more handsome. So this is what the inside of one of these buildings looks like. Okay, so inside it's literally just like any other Chinese apartment building. Got the shoes outside. Got the wishes of wealth and happiness. This seems like an empty apartment that everyone's just using as like a storage area. So this is what one of the apartments would look like. This would be the kitchen. They're very small apartments, actually. 你会在这里卖东西吗？有好多旅客回来的吗？哇，有时候有法国人吗？偶尔有啊。OK， 不错。你在看抖音吗？看什么视频？跳舞的。OK， 我跳舞的不好。
那你说的中文挺好。
我说的还可以。没有。
在这是教学老师是吧？
不是老师，我有一个很复杂的工作。30岁。
老婆有了啊？
老朋友。
媳妇儿、老婆
老婆没有老婆。
没有啊？
OK， 对，你有老公吗？啊 ，OK， 那我觉得
要不找一个呀？找一个。
他好幸运。Damn it! Almost met my wife. Too late. But oh, look at this over here. 你好，这里是收费的吗？对。OK， 多少钱啊？40块。13块？40。哦，有点贵。为什么这么贵啊？啊，谢谢啊。再见。You can tell by the faded coloring how old this map is. This was what was imagined back in 2007. To have lots of happy Hangzhou families coming here, riding around on horse and buggy every day to get to work. In the end, it's actually not people from Hangzhou that are moving here, I think. It's more people from other provinces. And I'm sure it's market forces that finally made this area available. Wow. They really went for a full recreation with these statues. And there we have it. This is what the $7.50 was for. For a view like this. A view of the Paris of China. In the early 2000s, China's economy was booming. And for the first time, you started to have a Chinese middle class. But then something happened. The great financial crash happened in 2008 in America. And it caused, obviously, the Great Recession around the world. China did not want the growth to stop. So what they did is they pumped money into the property sector. Loans were dirt cheap to come by. So new apartment blocks sprung up all over the country. It was a way to create employment. And it was assumed that these houses would quickly be bought up. But something was starting to happen just at the same time. As Chinese people began to get more and more money, they became more interested in traveling around the world. They wanted to see the real Paris, not a fake one. Also, projects like these were built way too far from city centers. You know, people didn't want to commute that far when they could just buy an apartment close to where their office was. And then even worse, you began to have property speculation. Housing prices were going up every year in China. So everybody wanted to buy a second, a third house as a way to make money. As a result, places like this sat empty for many years. But supposedly, things are starting to change.
Where are you from?
America. Make war. I love it. It's great. I'm bound to. 他叫什么名字？
叫奶茶。
奶茶。Okay. It's been interesting seeing the fake European towns of China. There's more to them than originally meets the eye. And I think, on that note, this is a good place to end the vlog. I'll see you on the next stop. Not sure where I'm going just yet. Probably somewhere in the countryside. So, 下次见. Bye bye.